What's going on, everyone? ODC here, and I'm back with another action figure review. Today's review, we're going to take a look at the Mythic Legion's Advent of Decay. This is Brother Mandibulus. Pretty awesome figure. Very unique design. Very unique name. Mandibulus. But pretty cool. Obviously coming from mandible bone, your mandible being your mouth. Pretty awesome. I like the color scheme we have here. I like the usage of the plastics with soft goods. So we do have some cloth goods, which I think I actually have to go in here and I have to fix. So I'm actually going to show you how to properly put on the soft goods as opposed to doing what I did, which was incorrect, which was simply separating the torso up here and then putting the cloth over the belt. You're supposed to put this underneath the belt, but I'm going to go back and fix all of that. But anyway, I just kind of want to get my quick thoughts on how this figure looks and my overall feel for the figure. I really like it. It's got a really nice flow to it as far as being a little bit different, even though it's reusing a lot of the old parts from the previous waves that we've seen prior to Wave 2. I mean, he's pretty much using a lot of parts that like Malleus used, Scapular used, plethora of other figures. That's just a couple to name a few. But it looks really good. I'm pretty pleased with it. I like the tattered look. The tattered look looks really good for the skirt piece, tunic piece, whatever you'd like to term you'd like to coin it, or whatever technical term is out there. But I love the fixed open mouth that he's got there. That's pretty awesome too. So I don't believe that's on a hinge joint. I believe that's constantly always going to be open. But we do have a hinge joint at the visor piece right here, which is pretty cool. So you can sort of lift that up. It actually wants to lift down. So as you can see there, you can see his eyes. Thank you, everybody, for the support. I appreciate it. I'm glad you guys are liking these reviews. Hopefully my audio, I saw someone posted something that the audio was messed up kind of on Nubnik, but hopefully the audio is better on this video. I think it was just that one video due to there were some issues with YouTube that day. There's been issues within the last 2 weeks with YouTube. I think YouTube went down last week, so yeah, hopefully my audio is good. So yeah, here is also the packaging. Let me get the packaging out of the way, and we'll go back into the... I don't think it was the fact that people couldn't hear me. I think it was the fact that it was like a little bit fuzzy for some reason. I've never had an issue with my audio before. It was definitely on YouTube's end as far as me doing the live review. That's kind of the drawback to doing a live review, is you're at YouTube's helm as far as how they want to handle your quality. So that's the one issue to not being able to edit my own material and everything. So, but anyway, here is the packaging. Hopefully everyone can hear me okay. Mythic Legions right there, and then we have his clan, which is the Necronomicus. The back card artwork. Bentley, what's going on, buddy? Looks pretty good. And then on the other side, we have his little read-up, which, let me get my camera propped up ready. And you can go ahead and read it. This guy's a little bit more bloodthirsty than his brother and sister. Mandibulus is more of the I want to kill people now and ask questions later, as opposed to his brother and sister, which are probably a little bit more tactical. I think Malleus is a little bit more of the family matters type individual. He's more worried about keeping his family, as you can read in the read-up, as I read it before this review. But Morgoliths, which she is coming up in a future review. She is a part of this wave, so it's pretty cool that we're rounding out the family as far as this this crazy family we call the Necronomicus is going. Pretty cool. So there's the read-up. There is his photo on the side. And let's get the packaging out of the way. I want to just double check my packaging and make sure I have everything out that I need. I've already shown the back adapters. I'm not going to continue to keep showing those because it comes with 3 back adapters for wings. So that's pretty much it. On the other hand, he is pretty geared up as far as what he is, what he comes available with. It's pretty refreshing to see a figure get this amount of accessories, you know, this amount of love, and that's another reason why we love Mythic Legions, is because they come with everything that they need, and then if you get a weapons pack, they come with even more. So, yeah, pretty excited. But yeah, pretty excited for this figure. He does come with an extra head, and here is the head. There's a little bit of lag there in the video. Sorry about that. But here is the extra head. The jaw does not move. Sorry, there's a little bit of fuzz on there. But the jaw does not move. It is just a single sculpted head. So there's that. And obviously we have some black paint shading going throughout the eye sockets, the orbital bone, all throughout the cranium here, with all of these cracks and crevices going throughout. It looks really good. So as you can see, going throughout the head, all of these cracks and everything, and just looks really good. I got to get him out of the background. He is just sucking up all the focus for the video. There we go. As you can see, he's missing a tooth over here. So, some sort of battle where Mandibulus lost a tooth. And like I said, the jaw is not removable. It's not on a hinge joint or anything like that. So it just kind of stays. Actually, what? Nope, I take that back. It does open. There you go. So the jaw does open. I retract my previous statement. And yeah, there you go. So that's pretty cool. Pretty sure it's the same exact head as I'm looking at Malleus right now. He'll be in the review in a little bit. This is the same exact head that came with Malleus. So if you wanted to, maybe you like this paint application a little bit better, you could swap this head with that head and go that route. But there you go. I'm sorry I didn't check on that. I should have checked on that before the review. That's my mistake. My fault for not checking the jaw hinge. But there's the head. And then he comes with... Don't worry, I'm going to put the extra head on and everything. Don't worry. I'm going to get to all that. He comes with this very orcish looking sword. If I can get it out of his sheath here without causing a mess or a disaster, natural disaster here. Come on, get out of there. Ugh. It's being a stubborn little bastard, and that's what it's doing. It is being a stubborn little bastard. There we go. Here's the sword he comes with, the orcish type sword that we've seen in the previous waves. Where's my pointer here? There we go. Let me get situated here. Nice, a little bit of inconsistency in the paint work as far as the handle goes. As you can see, the paint work just kind of stops before it hits the middle portion of the sword. That's kind of a letdown, I'll be honest with you. That's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be bone painting going throughout the whole handle here, but it's not. It's like stopping before it hits, so that's kind of a pooper right there. But the rest of the sword looks pretty good. The blade looks good. I like the color for the blade. Looks very chipped, and you know, this sword we've seen before. It'd be kind of like I'm re-reviewing the same old sword, as I call it. Next up, we have his mace, which we've seen also in previous iterations with Sir Godfrey. This is the mace that came with Sir Godfrey. Obviously, the paint deco is going to be different on this, but still, nonetheless, looks pretty dang good. I don't know why I'm having focusing issues today. There we go. That's better. But all the gold studs going throughout the mace are pretty good. Don't have any issues there. And then we have the mace handle, which looks nice. So we have like a kind of like a wooden look for the handle, and then down here we have like a little metallic charcoal gray for this little piece right here, this little metal piece. And then it's consistent throughout the rest of the head. You can remove this if you want to interchange that with a different mace head, which I believe there's another one. There was the rounded mace. There's this mace, and I don't think there's anything as far as a new mace head. Let me double check my weapons packs. I don't have all the weapons packs. I have the majority of them. I'm just missing. They didn't send me a dwarf pack, so I'm not 100% sure. I think you might be able to interchange this with the one that came with King Bromden, Ironjaw. I'm not 100% sure on that, though. And last piece that he comes with, and then I'm going to break this figure down as far as refixing his skirt piece, tunic, whatever you'd like to call it. But here's the new spear. This is the newly sculpted spear that came in the weapons pack as well. So this is an all newly tooled weapon, which I think it looks really good. Obviously, it has a different paint deco than the one in the weapons pack. The weapons pack has just kind of got a regular brown wrapping here, where this has like almost like an orange type wrapping to it, which I think helps the figure stand out a little bit more. Maybe gives him a little bit more of a signature weapon, so to speak. And then we have a little bit of like a rust feel to this pole section right here in the handle. Looks really nice. Maybe this is a little bit of an older weapon that he uses. But I think it looks really good. I like the orange. Like I said, the wrapping is pretty consistent going throughout. I don't see any bleeding through or any stoppage of paint anywhere. So it looks pretty damn good. All right, so those are all of his accessories that he comes with. He does also come with the accessory, which is this cloth piece right here on the side. I'm going to show you how to remove that and put it on properly. I'm going to first go ahead and remove his shoulder pads, due to just if they pop off, they pop off. It's just a lot easier to deconstruct the figure. I'm going to actually deconstruct this figure down to a whole, so you get an idea of how, because I didn't do that in the other videos, but how much you can take this figure apart. But there you go. As you can see, he is now headless, neckless, has no head armor or neck armor. I would suggest using a little bit of hot water. I'm going to try and do this without any hot water and see how it goes. Hopefully nothing breaks on me. There's the arms. There's the torso. Holster. Soft goods. Lower armor. Crotch covering. torso piece, and legs. I'm not going to deconstruct the legs. I mean, you can pull them off here, and I'm pretty sure you really want to use some heat if you're going to deconstruct them at the knee. I would just be careful with the knees. I have had other knees snap on me, so just be careful with that. I don't think I'm going to do that here. I don't want to risk this thing snapping or breaking on me. I think that's a reasonable request of mine to not want to have to do that. Hopefully, I mean, I'll pull on it a little bit and see if it'll pop out, but I really don't want this thing to snap on me. So, but you can pull it out. Hold on, let me see if I can get it. I'll use a little bit of heat. What I should do is just do a, there you go. So there he is, fully deconstructed down to his most simplistic form, excuse me, as I'm putting this camera all up and I'm ruining the review by... But there you go. I'm going to put them back together now, and I'm going to show you how to properly put on the cloth goods, or soft goods, excuse me. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. I had a long day at work. Very long day. How's everybody doing today, though, while I put him together? There we go. Knee joint in. Foot. I'm trying to do this on camera as much as possible. If I need to use some leverage, I might have to go off camera. There's both legs. All right, well, we got to get our torso piece back on here. There we go. Oh, come on. There we go. You want to feel a little bit of a pop when you get those hips in. Yeah, I know. Everything's going to be more expensive on eBay. They're crazy expensive. I wouldn't even look on eBay for these. Don't even go on eBay for these. I'll tell you right now. Everyone that gets these, if they buy them at bulk, or they pre-ordered them, or they join the Kickstarter and they're trying to sell their extras, they're going to sell them for like $70 to $100 a piece. Don't even look on eBay. I'm going to tell you right now. This is why you got to join the pre-order. You got to join the Kickstarter, or pay $50 per figure. If it's a Legion builder, you pay $40 per figure on Big Bad Toy Store. I mean, I don't know what other options, that are really out there, to be honest with you. There's a couple other websites that I saw, but they're even selling them for $70 a piece. So I just don't, they're definitely not worth $70 a piece. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people that are big fans of Mythic Legions, and I'm a big fan, think that, oh, they're a specialty item and blah, 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 blah. No, sorry. No 6-inch figure is worth $70 a piece. I really don't care. I don't want to hear the argument either that it is. But anyway, here is the crotch covering piece. You just want to pop that in there. And then you want to take your cloth goods. Now, he's got it set up where it's half red, half black. What you want to do is you want to have the black portion on the bottom and the red portion on top. And this way you put it on like that, like so. And then you want to take your armor piece. I know I love Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn's second headpiece is gorgeous. That headpiece also comes with Delphina, I think. I think that's her name. The female Templar Knight. It's just paint deco's different, but it also comes with that female figure as well. It's the only other figure that comes with that head sculpt, though. So you want to take your armor piece, and then you want to simply just settle that over. Now, you can manipulate this any way you want. You can push this more over to the side like so. I like to kind of keep it in the center. This way you have a little bit of red showing. And you want the black to be on this side. So it kind of gives you that illusion that one half is red, one half is black, and then you want to put your crotch piece over that, like so. So there you go. That is starting to look proper, not the way I had it before. Do not do what I did before. Anyway, moving on to the arms and the torsos. You want to hear that pop. You want to hear the pop or feel the pop. If you don't hear it, you want to feel it. There you go. See? Hear that? There we go. And then make sure you put your accessories on first any way you want. I mean, you can have it going across his torso. I like having it on his waist, for me, personally. And you simply just, now this is the, there you go. You want to hear that pop. That's all you need to hear with that. And moving the camera up, take his neck piece, and you want to have this piece facing outward. Like if the figure's facing that way, you want to have this facing that way with the bone protrusion sticking out towards the back, so it's the spinal column. There you go. That's simple enough. Then you want to put on your armor pieces. Last piece is the neck piece. You do have to move this neck piece a little bit, just due to the bones kind of getting in the way. And then just move this back, and that actually locks it into place. See how it's not going anywhere? So that's what you want to do. You want to get it right in the sweet spot. Make sure that piece is down all the way. There we go. Beautiful. Now it's sitting like it's supposed to. And then lastly, you want to take, or actually I'll put the shoulder pieces on next. 2 peg holes in the back. Take your shoulder pieces. You don't have to have the shoulder pieces on him. I like them on there. I think it works well with this neck piece as well. And you simply just pop those in there. It's very simple, not hard to do. And then you take your head, which I'll give you guys a close-up of the head sculpt before I put the head on. Looks really good. And I'll double and triple check this, but yeah, no, the jaw is fixed. And I triple checked that. So you're definitely going to not want to move that jaw too much. It's actually one big sculpt, so you can see right there. Unless maybe I'm incorrect again. Let me quadruple check it. Yeah, no, the jaw does not move. The visor, I'm going to try and get my visor to go up. See if I can get it to go up without popping it off. It's a very tight fit. You can kind of get it to go up a little bit. I don't know if I'd necessarily force it. This is on a hinge joint, and I don't know if these are how deep these pegs are going into the side of the head. But that is what the head looks like with the... That is what the head looks like with the visor up. It's about as maxed out as far as it's going to go. So I'm going to have the visor down, though. There we go. I think that looks the best. And then you simply just pop the head on. And that's about it. As far as breaking down a Mythic Legion. Maybe in another video, I will deconstruct another one of the new bodies. What I might do is I might just do that in one video and not include it in a review, because I don't want to deconstruct every single Mythic Legion in every single review, because then the review would take forever. I'm already at 24 minutes here, and I haven't even officially given you articulation points or anything like that. So, speaking of articulation, why not? Let's just jump right into that. His head can swivel at a full 360 rotation if you need it to. It's going to be hindered due to the neck piece, but if you don't have this collar piece on, you can take it off. It is removable, like I showed you. You can swivel it. He can look up about that far, and he can look down about that far, a little bit past neutral. That's about neutral eye level. He can tilt his head side to side. Like I already showed you, you can swivel. Let's see if he's got some jive turkeys. Oh, we got a couple jive turkeys. Oh, that's it. And then the arms go up about that far, down, full 360 rotation at the shoulder, or at the shoulder swivel. It does have a hinge joint at the shoulder as well, which I just showed. Hinge joint at the elbow, and a swivel at the elbow. Swivel at the gauntlet. Swivel at the wrist. Hinge joint. He does have a waist swivel. No diaphragm joint. Like it's a little bit different from the newer bodies, since this isn't on the one of the older bodies. So it's kind of like a weird lower diaphragm joint. Well, actually, your diaphragm is technically down there anyway. So it is kind of like a diaphragm joint. It's on a ball peg. No hinge joint. So it does kind of pivot side to side, but you can swivel it full 360 rotation if you need to. It does kind of crunch forward a little bit and does crunch back a little bit. It's not your atypical ab crunch, though. He does have T-joint hips, which go out, does the splits beautifully, and then the leg goes forward, does go back, and then we do have an upper thigh swivel, a single jointed knee, a knee swivel, a swivel at the ankle, points the toe, not that far, points the heel, ankle pivot, 2 peg holes. So there you go. That is his articulation. There we go. You kind of have to play with him a little bit. Play with all of these a little bit to get it in that kind of like sweet spot for his stance and everything. But I like the way he stands. I don't know. I still think to this day that the previous waves bodies are my favorite. They're still my favorite as far as personal preference goes. I know a lot of people might like the newer bodies instead. As far as like, I don't know, I want to say how they stand, how easy they are to stand. I would say the 1.0 bodies are still a little bit superior, even though the newer female bodies or the new smaller male bodies do have a diaphragm joint, a little bit more articulation, a little bit better range of motion. These have a better center of gravity. I would say that. So there's a little bit of a give and take there that I've noticed with the majority of these. I do have unboxed all of these, so I haven't had a chance to. I have had a chance to play around with all of these, so I do know what I'm talking about in that department. All right, so but moving on to paint and sculpt and everything. He is beautifully sculpted. Like I said, there's a lot of reused parts from the previous waves, but I think it's a really good mix and match of all of that. We're seeing boots from like Atlas, as far as Atlas used, or Malleus, his brother, which I'm going to bring in here in a second to compare the two brothers next to each other. But he looks really good. I'm pretty pleased with how they use this, and there is like a nice. I think I want to say that there's almost like 2 different types of washes going on here. There's like a rust wash, and then there's like a silver wash going throughout to really give that kind of like old, hardened, battled looking feel to the base coat, which is probably just a plastic metallic charcoal color mixture of that. But it looks really good. You almost get like a rusty / muddy feel to these boots and even on the legs. You're also getting some mud splatter on the little crotch covering right here, which looks really good. It'd be cool if like we got some blood spackle on maybe a figure down the road. Maybe there's like a warlord we'll get, or something really cool like that. I would still like to see down the road. I would like to see a monk, and I would like to see a pirate, because I mean pirates did exist. I wouldn't even want to say people obviously boarding other boats and stealing things. It would be considered a pirate, but not your atypical pirate. I would like a Mythic Legion style pirate. I think that would be pretty cool. We don't need any guns or anything like that. He could just use a sword, and we can go that route if you wanted to. But I think it would be a pretty cool thing to add into this universe of Mythos. The tattered look for the skirt piece looks really good. I'm really pleased with that. It does continue to the back portion, and there's actually some paint applications going throughout this skirt piece, which is, god damn, it's just so cool that they decided to go that route. Even on the black skirt piece, we have some paint as well. It's very hard to pick up on camera right here, but in person you can see there's like brown paint going throughout to give off that feel of it being battle hardened and dirty. So that is just really cool. This guy is, I don't know, starting to really grow on me. I'm really starting to like him more and more. The more I play around with these figures, man, it's like each character I start liking more and more and more, and then I'm just like, God. And I'm not even like that big of a fan. I know there's a ton of people that are big fans of the skeletons. They're not on my top priority as far as like my favorites, as far as the characters go. I feel like there's almost like too many skeletons, but this guy, I like it. He differentiates himself enough from the others with the soft goods, the new head sculpt, with the hinge joint at the visor. I think that's really cool that they decided to go with that. I like the little broken piece on his helmet. Like, this guy's been through hell and back as far as wanting to be. It looks like he would be in the front lines, guiding his skeleton warrior troops into battle head on, as opposed to maybe Malleus is kind of hanging back and, you know, commanding people from the background. Maybe that's what it's about with him. He's more family oriented and worrying about maintaining his family and keeping them in so they're safe and whatnot. But I could definitely see him wanting, just being a bloodthirsty warlord type, but he looks really good. I like the symbol on here for the Necronomicus on here. It's kind of like a different type of symbol. It's kind of like, I don't know, more like a digital rendering of the Necronomicus, as we've seen on the side of his packaging. It's obviously much different, as you can see right there. But I think it's a cool little, it almost looks like it would be on the front of a flag or something like that. So I like it. I think it looks pretty cool. So no issues there at all. It's a nice little touch. I like that we've got a little bit of flip in the color here, as we see the red on this side and the black on this side, and then up here we see the black on this side and the red on that side, and then the colors are obviously flipped for the logo. So it's nice to kind of throw that little bit of opposites, a little bit of yin and yang to this figure as far as the paint applications and design goes. So that's much welcomed as well. The belt piece looks really good. There is a little bit of silver dry brushing going throughout. We've got some gold studs going throughout the war belt. We've got also some gold studs continuing on. It's pretty much consistent going throughout the entire leg armor piece. I really like the fact that we've got these kind of orcish looking shoulder pieces, same type of shoulder pieces that Malleus got, same neck piece that Malleus got, same gauntlets that Malleus got, leg armor, or actually, yeah, I think the leg armor is the same. Let me double check my Malleus here. Yes, his leg armor's on backwards. That's pretty funny. Don't worry, you'll see Malleus in a second. But he does have different dry brushing than Malleus does. He's got, like I said, a little bit of brown, a little bit of rusty type look for this shoulder piece and that one too. It's consistent going throughout both shoulder pieces and the neck guard. So that looks really cool. I like that he has got different type of armor on this arm, kind of covering it where he's a little bit exposed. And then on this arm, he is fully covered all the way going up. Let me just remove this. So he is fully covered on that arm. So that looks really good. I like the gold for the studs going on the arm. And it's consistent throughout the back too. Some people I've actually seen, I think it looks pretty good. I've seen them kind of just put one shoulder pad on, and then leaving the other shoulder pad. It's pretty much what they did with Atlas's. I can't talk. Atlas's design. They kind of gave him one shoulder piece on this side, and then they kind of gave him on the other side. It's very an elegant looking shoulder piece, where this one is like the orc style, grimy looking shoulder piece. So I like them with them both on. I think it looks pretty cool with both on, but you know, that's the coolest thing about these, that you can have them displayed any way you want them to look. So I like the almost like it's pretty much like a copper look for the helmet. It looks really good. I'm really pleased with that. I like that it's a different color. They could have went the same consistent route with everything else, but it almost gives off like it's that copper look. It almost looks like a reddish. It looks really good though. I like it. And the bone pieces are all painted nicely, both bone pieces, and then we've got this gold spike and the black paint shading going throughout all of the bone painted pieces look really good. I like that he's got this kind of like chainmail. It's kind of like Scott Steiner style, where it's going over his head. Making pro wrestling references here. But yeah, I mean, Brother Mandibulus looks really good. Okay, now I'm going to gear him up really quick, and then I'll show you what he looks like standing next to his brother, or his brother, actually, technically, would be his brother. And then we'll bring in, don't worry, we're going to do a whole family reunion once I do Morgulith. Can't wait to do that. Morgulith is going to be awesome. And she is like the head honcho for the family. She is like the big bad. Where these guys are kind of getting down and dirty in the battles on the ground. She is like the mage of the group. Okay, here we go. Here we have there's Malleus. There's his brother. Two brothers hanging out, dual wielding. I mean, I feel like it really does fit the fact that they're both dual wielding. I really like it. I think it looks good. Like I said, if you wanted to have them almost matching, you could have him with this head, and that jaw is articulated, so you could pop that head off and pop that head on. Yeah, Eric, I really do agree. The spear looks really good. I have to agree with that. I do like it. So if you want to pop that head off, you want to put this on. Maybe they're discussing plans, or they're just both yelling at each other. They're just rah, and he's like, rah, you know, they're both just. Oh, you can't see. You know, rah, rah, rah. No, I want to go left. No, you go right. I don't want to go right. Who's on first? What's on second? I don't know who's on third. Third base. Okay, anyway. But there's your Abbott and Costello scene. But if you don't know who Abbott and Costello are, then look it up. You can Google it, and you can YouTube it, I'm sure. Old radio comedians from a very long time ago. 40s, 50s. But Fantanibulus. Wanna Fanta? Don't you wanna Fanta? But here are the brothers. We should just call them the Brothers of Destruction, right? That should be it's like the Undertaker and Kane right here, you know. The Brothers of Destruction. But pretty cool. I like that they're dual wielding. I liked I liked Malleus already. And just to point this out, I have to fix it. This is actually backwards. So this is the proper way to put this on. They have the same belt piece. It's just backwards. So if it looks different and you're like, wait, is that a different sculpt? It's not. It's my dumbass put this on backwards. So just try to ignore that, please. Yeah, the head sculpts look really good. I'm really pleased with how this turned out. It's nice that we got Malleus's head reissued. Different paint deco for this, but it looks really good. I'm really pleased with how Brother Mandibulus turned out. I think it looks really good. So there are the brothers. And let's get him into some sort of, like, he is not happy right now. He is just, he's in the heat of battle. Let's get him into a, we'll just have him with this, kind of like that, and then this, like that. Just simple posing, you know? And he looks crazy. He's a crazy guy. This guy's really growing on me, man. He's really growing on me. I like him a lot. This is one to get, I think. Like I said, if you didn't join the Kickstarter, if you didn't pre-order, and you're into these figures, I feel sorry for you. I would say that if you are to spend the $50 per figure on, let's say you want to get maybe just like a handful of figures, maybe like 4 figures. You want to spend $200, which is what you're going to have to spend on Big Bad Toy Store. Or wait down the line and hope that they maybe will do another pre-order, re-release some of them, do another all-star wave, who knows. But if you're willing to spend around $200, I would add this guy into that little group of figures that I would deem worthy to get. If you don't want an older body and you're only focusing on the new bodies, then maybe you want to pass on him. It all depends on what your priorities are, you know. But he looks really good. I would definitely give him a 2 thumbs up. Let's see if I can get both thumbs in here. There we go. 2 thumbs up there. Definitely recommend this figure. I like him a lot. Let's get a little yin and yang here. We'll get. We can't have a review without Sir Gideon Heavensbrand. There you are. Sir Gideon, he has been our faithful companion through this journey of Mythic Legions reviewing. Thank you, Sir Gideon. Thank you very much. Well, you're quite welcome, Anthony. All right. All right, no, you can take 5. Let's do size comparisons before I let you all go. Yep, Sir Gideon, he is the bro. I agree. There is a Marvel Legends, that's kind of your basic body. Is your Bucky Cap body mold right there. And then we've got your little bit larger body. This is Bishop. He's not actually not standing. I'm sorry. I apologize here. He's not standing up straight. I had him in a pose. So there you go. Mandibulus is taller than Bishop, just so you know. Not by much. I think that spike makes him taller. So just by a little bit. A little bit. And then we have our Motu figure here. Vicor. My favorite Motu figure. Besides Fisto, but I don't have Fisto because he's like $200. So there you go. And then lastly, you know what? We'll just bring in, because this guy, you know what? This guy is, he's a beast. He looks like a Paul Heyman guy. So let's bring in Paul Heyman. And there you go. You got a little size comparison with WWE figures. And that's pretty much it. So let's get him back in his pose here. Put me back in my pose, damn it. You will put me back in my pose. I want to think that he would have a stronger, more manly voice than that. Put me back in my pose. But there you go. There is Brother Mandibulus. 2 thumbs up. Definitely recommend you get him. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Thank you to everyone who joined me today. Thank you, Zorpox. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Derek. Thank you, Bentley. And I think that's it. Thank you, everyone, for joining me live. Yeah, for those of you watching this on playback, you'll have to wait, Eric, and see who's next. I'm not going to tell you. That would ruin the surprise. Come on, man. I'm just kidding. There'll be another review tomorrow, so I'm going to continue doing this as much as I can. I'm determined to get through every single figure. So, but yeah, enjoy the review. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Give me a thumbs up, please. That helps my channel. Do it. Do it. I know you want to do it. You want to do it. You know you want to do it. If you don't want to do it, that's okay. That's okay. You want to give me a thumbs down, that's cool too, but let me know how I can improve my content, as I'm talking too fast. And when I do that, I mumble. But if you want to give me a thumbs down, that's cool too, but let me know how I can improve my content. If there's something that you didn't like, or if you think there's something that I missed, let me know in the comments. That always helps me, so I can add that into the next review and not miss anything. I try not to miss anything, but thanks everybody. Thank you to all the new subs. Thank you to the old subs for staying subbed. You guys are awesome. I love all of you. Have a great night. Have a great time. And I'll see you guys on the flip side.